Minsan na po ako nakapag-drive papuntang north, like sa La Union at sa Baguio. Ganon din dito sa south, sa parte ng Laguna at Batangas. And what is so amazing is the view. When we pass through in a valley, nagtataas ang bundok at breathtaking po ang kanilang ganda, no? At lahat po tayo ay naka-experience nito. Ngunit hindi lamang po ganda ang hatid sa atin ng mga taluktok na ito. Ito rin po ay may hatid sa atin na panganib sa mga dumaraan. At ito po ay naiintindihan ng mga nakatira lalo't lalo na dito sa Baguio o sa Benguet. Dahil anumang oras, maaaring maghatid sa iyo ng isang malaking panganib o kapahamakan. At ito ang laman ng ating pag-uusapan sa umagang ito. Sa mga kasalukuyan pong ito, masasabi ko na ikaw at ako ay nasa ganitong uri ng valley, na tayo po ay dumaraan sa ganitong uri ng lambak ng ating buhay. Tinatawag po itong the death valley of our lives. At ang definition po ng valley is a stretch of lost pathland between two mountains or hill ranges. Marahil ang ilan sa inyo ay kasalukuyang dumaraan sa ganitong uri ng valley bago pa man dumating yung tinatawag po nating pandemic o coronavirus. At lalong nagdidiin sa atin upang tila malagay tayo sa isang napakadilim at napakalalim na valley ng ating buhay. Isa pong magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Muli, isa na naman pong araw ng pananambahan at tayo pong lahat ay sama-samang sasamba sa ating Panginoon sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig ng salita ng Diyos sa umagang ito. At nais ko pong basahin sa inyo ang ating pag-uusapan o ang ating tutunghayan mula sa Psalms chapter 23 and the following verses. Ito po ang sabi. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely, goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalms 23, without question, is one of the popular verses in the entire Old Testament. Even non-believers are familiar sa verses na ito o sa passages na ito. Typically, nakikita po natin ang verses na ito inscribed in cemeteries, in crematorium, in funeral homes, or sa mga sympathy cards. Nakalulungkot man, it is usually associated with death just because of that single verse, the valley of death. Sa totoo lang, ang Psalm 23 actually is a shepherd's psalm. Ito po ay isang awit ng isang tao na kung saan ipinakikita po niya ang kanyang naranasan mula sa tunay na pastol ng kanyang buhay. Alam po natin na lahat tayo as God's follower ay referred sa Bible as a sheep. And more than 200 times, depending on the version you use. To be referred as sheep is not actually a complementary. Why is that the Bible doesn't picture us as a bold lion o kaya ay isang malakas na oso, but a sheep? Sheep is considered as one of the dumbest animal or a livestock. Of all animals, actually, yung tupa ay cannot navigate at all. Napakadali nilang iligaw. They were easy to be misled. They were easy to be deceived. At yan po ang behavior ng sheep. Ang punto po ay ito. Sheep needs a shepherd. At ang pinakamasayang araw po ng sheep ay when they were in their shepherd. Yan po ang pinakaligtas at ang pinakamaayos nilang kalagayan. Ang kanilang pastol ay dinadirect sila, ginaguide sila, inahatid sila sa isang tahimik at sa masaganang pastulan. Hindi po natin i-exhort ang buong passages ng Psalm 23. At ang focus lamang po natin ay dito sa verse 4, yung death valley na ating pong tinutukoy. Wala pong nakakaalam kung anong kapanahunan isinulat ni David ang tulang ito. Marahil ito ay sa umpisa ng kanyang buhay mula sa perspektibo siya bilang isang shepherd boy. Sinulat niya o kinikwento niya ang kanyang naranasan, o di kaya bilang isang mandirigma o bilang isang hari. O ito'y isang alaala na kanyang isinusulat o kanyang binabalikan sa nakaraang buhay at upang dalhin sa atin at ihatid sa atin ang kwento. Kung kailan man ito at kung ano man ito, makikita po natin dito ang ilang katotohanan sa ating pong buhay mula sa kanyang tula o mula sa kanyang sulat. Ang unang punto na nais ko pong ihatid sa inyo ay there will be valleys. There will be valleys sa ating pong buhay. Ang sabi po rito, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Notice, hindi po niya isinulat, even though if I walk through the valley. Actually, yung NLT version po ay isinulat more clearer. Ang sabi, when I walk through the valley. Of course, yung Psalm 23, hindi naman siya nag-uumpisa sa verse 4. At siya po ay nagsisimula sa verse 1 and 2. Of course, ang punto po natin, nagsimula ito with a delight. Isang magandang tagpo. Isang payapang tagpo. Ang sabi po rito, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. Alam po ninyo, kung lalagyan natin ng sound scoring, there is really a peaceful sound, full of tranquility. But there's something happen in verse 4. Suddenly may change. Suddenly, yung mood nag-iba. Danger is introduced dito sa verse 4 na parang hindi yata tumutugma dito sa nararanasan ng unang mga verses kung saan isinasalarawan ang tupa na bilang isang ligtas at payapa at sagana. Bakit bigla dito sa verse 4 ang tupa ay tila nalalagay sa isang panganib o sa isang delikadong lugar? Since the ship suddenly was overlooked. What just happened? Well, real life just happened. This is the reality of our lives. Hindi po natin may expect na ang buhay ay laging green pasture, always may still waters, always to be smooth. Sabi nga po, life is not always a bed of roses. Minsan tayo po ay nahihiga sa bed of nails, katulad po ng isang awitin. That there will be valleys. That's the real life. Yan po ang tunay na buhay. Just as valleys as part of ng landscape ng ating kalupaan ng earth, ganun din po yung valleys are also part of the landscape of Christian life. Meron po tayong ups and downs sa ating pong buhay. Maging si Job o si Job ay na-recognize ito in Job chapter 5 verse 7. Ang sabi niya dito, yet man is born to trouble as surely as sparks fly upward. Ang ibig pong sabihin, maaasahan mo darating ang mga bagay na ito. It will surely come. Real person experience real life. Yung trouble, yung danger, yung difficulty sa buhay natin. Even Peter himself recognizes valleys in life. In 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12, sabi niya, dear friends, do not be surprised at the painful trial you are suffering, as though something strange were happening to you. The point is, do not be surprised. That is natural, meaning you are a living person. Though alam natin that it is not comfortable, but there are times that you need to go through it. Alam nyo, ang mga tupa ay hindi sanay sa matatarik na daan. Madali sila actually madapa, madali silang mapatid. But ang shepherd, kinakailangan silang i-lead even sa mga steep valley in order for them to reach down yung still waters, yung the most greenest pasture doon sa baba ng valleys. Now, ang punto po nito na ang ating pinag-uusapan na ang mga difficulties, yung mga valleys sa buhay natin ay kasama o parte ng ating buhay bilang isang tao. Now, yung pangalawang katotohanan na ating pong makikita dito, there will be dark valleys. Yes, may valleys sa ating buhay, but there are some valleys that are darker than other, deeper than other, steeper than others, longer than others, or more difficult than others. That is a dark valleys. Ang Bible usually nire-refer niya ang mga difficulties through valleys. Sa Book of Joshua, sa Isaiah, sa Hosea, may tinatawag po sa Bible na valley of terror, a valley of calamity. But in this verse, a valley in the shadow of death. In Israel, meron po silang literal na tinatawag na valley of shadows of death. Ito po ay located in between Temple Mount and Mount of Olives, na kung saan punong-puno po ito ng mga nakalibing. At during the Feast of Tabernacles, ang buong Temple Mount ay naliliwanagan po sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag nilang oil torches. There is only one spot na madilim sapagkat hindi na nila nire-risk ang buhay ng isang tao para mailawan yung lugar na yon. At tinatawag po yung lugar na yon na Kidron Valley. Dahil napaka-steep at ang tanging lugar na yon ang pinakamadilim na parte ng buong Jerusalem o ng Temple Mount. At alam po ninyo, in poetic sense, this is your life that is in the lowest. This is the darkest moment ng inyong buhay. Another thing in geographical sense, valley usually is a place of ambush. In any moment na kayo po ay dumaraan dito bilang sundalo, you are actually risking your life. You are actually walking in imminent danger, the danger of death, which is not different from our situation that we are in right now. Ngayon po tayo ay dumaraan na tila ba matatawag din natin na valley of shadows of death. The danger of coronavirus, that in any moment there is a possibilities ng transmission, that you get infected with that virus. It can happen suddenly. The world now is really in the valley of shadow of death because of coronavirus. But we can walk fearlessly in this world because of Him. Dahil sa ating shepherd, which lead to another point, fearlessly walking in the valley. Fearlessly walking in the valley. Notice here, sabi dito, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Notice yung word na I will. Makikita po niyo dito, yung word na fear actually is a choice. Is an act of one's will. Yes, I am facing evil, but I will not fear. Yun po ang sabi ng manunulat na si David. It's an attitude adjustment. David did not say, though I run through the valley, so I can get it over as soon as possible. Dito, si David, siya po ay may panatag na paglakad na kahit na siya ay nasa gitna ng panganib o nasa bingit ng kamatayan. Kaya niyang sabihin na I will not fear. Hindi man siya sigurado sa dilim na dinadaanan niya, pero may kapayapaan siya at kalmadong lumalakad dito na hindi siya nag-iisa at hindi nagpapabaya ang kasama niya. Actually, fear is a product of uncertainties. You don't know the outcome, but when you are with someone who knows exactly what you are going through and know exactly what would be the outcome, of course, fear will eventually turn into faith. So, yun ang nararanasan ni David. I will fear no evil. It doesn't mean he is denying the presence of evil. He chose not to fear, not because the shepherd is going to remove evil. No. He knows that evil exists. That is just simply a part of our lives. Dahil tayo po ay nakatira dito sa evil world that we are experiencing the life na talagang mapanganib. Ito po ang sinasabi at ipinapaalala rin sa atin mula sa Matthew chapter 10 verse 28. Ang sabi po rito, do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Dahil ang kamatayan ng laman ay hindi po katapusan. Actually, ang kamatayan ng laman, ito po ay pasimula pa lamang. Naalala ko po si Job sa kanyang naranasang matinding pighati at pagsubok. Actually, he lost his children, he lost his possession, he lost everything. At sa oras po ng kanya, na ang kanyang katawan ay halos mabulok, wala namang paglagyan ng mga sugat, alam nyo, napaka-sweet ng encouragement ng kanyang asawa. Alam nyo kung ano yung encouragement sa kanya ng kanyang asawa? Ang sabi ng kanyang asawa, sumpain mo na ang Diyos mo at nang mamatay ka na. Ganun po. But I love his response. Maganda po ang naging sagot dito ni Job. It was a statement of no fear. Sabi niya, the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He didn't say, remove this place, but in the midst of dark valley, he's still able to recognize God and able to praise God. A statement of no fear. It says, a valley of shadow of death. Not actually a valley of death, but a shadow of death. There is a difference, of course, between death and shadow of death. Sa inyong paglalakad, naranasan nyo na bang masagasaan ng anino ng truck? O kaya ay makagat ng anino ng aso? Sino sa inyo ang nahiwa na ng anino ng kutsilyo? Of course, wala. Because that is not the actual. Shadow is just a reflection ng isang object ng reality. Pero marami sa atin ang takot na takot, hindi pa man dumarating yung katotohanan. O takot na takot, wala pa man dun sa araw na kanyang kinakatakutan at nawawala na po yung ating kumpiyansa, nawawala na po yung ating pagtitiwala sa Diyos. Lalo na, yung sting ng COVID has no effect actually sa atin as a Christian. Bakit ko nasabi ang bagay na yon? Look at here in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 58. Ang sabi po rito, "O death, where is your victory? O death, where is your sting?" Ibig sabihin, si Pablo nawawala yung kanyang na siya ay drive ng kanyang takot sa kamatayan. Wala na ang kamandag na kung saan ang kamandag ng kamatayan ay ang kasalanan. Nasabi po natin last time that fear is doing more harm than COVID itself. Bakit? Pinakita po natin na actually ang virus ng COVID o yung coronavirus ay may pinakamaliit na fatal rate. Yun nga lang, dahil hindi pa natutuklasan yung vaccine, kaya talagang natatakot. But gusto ko pong ipakita sa inyo ang reality, ang katotohanan ito, na meron na po sa kasalukuyan na may 53,000 death sa pamamagitan ng coronavirus. Alam niyo po ba na hindi naman talaga yan ang may pinakamataas na number of death? Still, mas mataas pa nga po yung number of deaths sa pamamagitan ng sigarilyo. Million upon millions po ang namamatay sa pamamagitan ng sigarilyo, pero mukhang hindi naman natatakot ang tao. At ito pong huling sasabihin ko, meron pong 40 to 50 million according to WHO na namamatay through abortion. At habang nag-uusap po tayo, ngayon po, bumibilang ang namamatay through abortion. Takot na takot tayo sa ganti ng kalikasan, sa anino ng kamatayan. Pero ang totoong nakakatakot po ay tayo. Sapagkat kung titignan po ninyo yung word o meter sa Google, napakarami pong namamatay through abortion. 120,000 per day according to WHO. Now, let's go to the fourth truth ng ating buhay. The shepherd is in the valley. The shepherd is in the valley. Ang sabi po dito, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Now, notice here, meron pong sudden change ng pronoun from a third person to second person. In verse 2, ito po ang sabi, He makes me lie down. He leads me beside quiet waters. Verse 3, He restores my soul. He guides me. And this all third person. In a way, sinasabi niya that here is my theology of God. Ito ang Diyos. Ito ang aking pinapanaligan. But in verse 4, kakaiba. Now, there is a change from third person to second person. He is talking directly to God. Ang sabi niya dito, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. For your rod, your staff, they comfort me. And in verse 5, You prepare a table before me in presence of my enemy. You anoint my head with oil and cup overflows. All of a sudden, the ultimate become intimate. All of a sudden, the thought about God became relational, become personal. Ang sinasabi po rito, if I may suggest, when you are in the dark valleys of your life, the more that you need to spend more time talking directly to God. Because God is more intimate than ever when you are in the valleys of your life. Hindi mo siya kinakailangang hanapin. He is actually right there in your valleys. Sa totoo lang, nai-express po natin ang ating pananampalataya at ipinararanas ng Diyos ang kanyang pagyakap sa atin sa oras ng kagipitan at sa oras ng panganib. Ang sabi po sa John chapter 14 verse 18, I will not abandon you as orphans. I will come to you. You know that the richness of our fellowship with God is when we are in the valley of our lives. Narito ang final truth. This is the final truth. The valleys won't last forever. The valleys won't last forever. That valley is just a temporary nature. Even though you are going through it, hindi po niya tayo pababayaan dyan. He is not going to leave you. He is not going to leave you in it. May katapusan po ang bawat pagsubok na ating pinagdadaanan. Babasahin ko po sa inyo ang dalawang huling verses. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Ipinapakita po rito yung kapayapaan sa gitna ng matinding panganib at kagipitan. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely, goodness and love will follow me in the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The setting is now changed. The valley is now over. Natapos na po. Ang tupa na kanina ay nasa banta ng panganib, ngayon siya ay nasa lugar na higit pa sa green pasture at still waters. Because now, the sheep is a guest. Guest po siya sa isang lavish banquet, isang piging, treated as an important guest. Experiencing with great hospitality. Sa ancient world, during those time, when you are being invited in a particular house or tent, there was a certain protocol. Ang host po ay igigreet kanya at the door. At kayo po ay bubuhusan o pupunasan ng oil o ng scented oil to refresh you, and then kayo po ay babatiin ng isang halik. At huhugasan po ang inyong mga paa. At ang inyong panyapak ay aalisin. At kayo po ay lalakad sa inilatag na carpet nila papunta doon sa U-shaped table na punong-puno po ng pagkain. At ang idea ng feeling his cup overflowing, ang ibig sabihin po ay yung tipong may nakabantay sa'yo, nakafocus lang sa'yo na sa tuwing mababawasan ng iyong inumin ay lagi nilang binubuhusan upang laging maging puno. Ito po ay larawan, higit pa sa green pasture, ito po ay kasaganaan. Though yung sheep, he is not denying the valley, but this time the valley is over. And now he is experiencing the goodness of God. Sinasabi niya, Lord, you are so good. Now my cup is overflowing. It runs over and over and over again. Huwag po natin kalilimutan ang bagay na to. If there is a shadow, of course, there is light. Shadow is the result of light being cast in an object. And it produces yung tinatawag pong umbra penumbra, yung shadows. When people is in the dark, ang instinct po ng tao ay to find light. Humanap ng kahit katiting na liwanag upang maging guide, upang maging source niya at direction niya kung saan man siya pupunta. And if you are in the valley right now, the truth of the Bible tells you that this valley is not your permanent residence. It is not your destination, but actually it's just your transition. The valley that you are in will pass. Yun po ang ibig sabihin na sinasabi sa atin nito ngayon. Yung kahirapan, yung kagipitan, yung problema, yung pagsubok natin, may hangganan po yan. Matatapos po yan at balang araw, lilingunin mo na lamang siya at babalikan. At sasabihin mong, nakaya ko pala. Even though you suffer for 10 years, 20 years, but still, that is just like a snap. Gusto ko pong basahin sa inyo yung 2 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 17. For momentary light affliction is producing for us an eternal weight of glory far beyond all comparison. Hindi po natin kayang ikumpara yung naghihintay sa ating kasaganaan, yung naghihintay po sa ating buhay na punong-puno ng kapayapaan. Maging si Jesus sa kanyang buhay nung siya ay naririto at nagmiministeryo sa lupa. Siya po ay naka-experience ng pinakamalalim na valley sa kanyang buhay, pinakamadilim na valley sa kanyang buhay. That is why He can say, I have been there. I know exactly what you are going through and I am walking with you. May kapayapaan po kahit sa gitna ng ating mga pagsubok na pinagdaraanan. Kahit na tayo po ay nasa gitna ng panganib, meron tayong pangahawakang kapayapaan because yung shepherd natin are with us. This message is also tell you that when we are in deep trouble, in the darkest moment ng ating buhay, you are not just holding God, but actually God is embracing us tight. Na gusto niya tayong ilabas mula sa valley ng buhay na ating kinalalagyan. Because He is with us. Kasama po natin ang Diyos. Maging sa oras na ito ng panganib, na kahit mansan tayo mapunta, maging sa paligid natin, sa labas ng ating bahay, ay may banta ng panganib. Hindi po tayo matatakot sapagkat ang ating shepherd ay laging handa at ating kaagapay. At na kahit anong mangyari, hindi niya tayo iiwan sa deep valley na ito. Kundi tayo po ay ilalabas niya at magkakaroon ng kapayapaan at kasaganaan. Isa pong magandang umaga sa ating lahat.